Headline, ladies and gentlemen, he pulled the trigger. He pulled the trigger. And I'll tell you what, we're going to talk about his revelation going into that and why he did what he had to do. But the truth is, he needed to do it. He had no choice. He had to, because this is a year in the making to reclaim that YBW championship, something that has eluded him now for nearly 4 years. We're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about, to this man right here, how last week here on Sportswire Radio, it was the current YBW champion. When I asked him that question on who he wanted between the then Golden Guns, he wanted this man. Well, he's going to get it. Although afterwards, was that attack more than personal? It went too far, but maybe karma served that man with that razor instinct, because, he who lives by the sword dies by the sword. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to turn the page here from the historic Anarchy Sanctified. Everybody's talking about that. What we saw to open the show tonight and to close the Thanksgiving weekend to get us to Cyber Monday was arguably one of the best matches in backyard and underground wrestling in 2025. I have watched a lot of wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. I have watched a lot of matches. Maybe myself and Copper Dragon could have a no comparison. I would never win that comparison, but I know I may have watched more matches than him probably, but that match certainly had a lot. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about how is this man feeling, and also his thoughts on why his former best friend had at least 2 opportunities to have pulled his own trigger and do it. Why didn't he do it, and how is he feeling? And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about, again, Dom is human. Dom is human. And what about that guy that was the referee of the match that the headline won? And well, certainly there was a promo at the end of Anarchy Sanctified that everybody was talking about, but maybe a hit marker came in and marked his own shot, and the shot that he's going to use to springboard him into 2026. We're going to finish the story and some here. But it has been quite the last few days on Sportswire Radio. We want to thank everybody for that. We want to thank YBW for their support. But it is now time to introduce the man of the hour, the man of the weekend here right now in backyard and underground wrestling, and certainly one of the trailblazers, one of the greatest traveling wrestlers of our generation. And it is time now to start this show off here in style on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station where all music and wrestling matters. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one Sports Show, a man that has traveled to countless companies, a man that has traveled farther than any wrestler in backyard underground wrestling history as we know it. He is now the number one contender to the YBW Championship. His name is simply but the headline. And fine as hair. My friend, how are we doing?
We're doing Tom as always, and we're doing it live in prime time as usual.
Yeah. Well, originally it was advertised that Magnum Carter was going to be here, but there's obviously a reason for that, and you're here. We're going to talk about that. There is a lot to talk about here in YBW. I'm really excited because I want to say I was in the chat. I watched the entire show from start to finish, and this is why you guys always break out. And I'm excited. I'm really excited about Revelations here once again. I love having you guys here every month. And there's a lot to get to. So I'm going to go right to the jugular here. For those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that you and YBW helped build, Sportzwire Radio, which got us yet another monumental moment with that guy, Raven, earlier this weekend. But talk to me about how it means and feels to now be the number one contender to the YBW championship.
Well, one word I've been hanging on to throughout this entire thing. One word. Starts with R, and it's not reality. But it's the reality we live in with this one simple thing. Redemption.
Yep.
I have been out of the spotlight, the major spotlight in YBW for, as you said, 4 years. The last time I was at the top was June 27th, 2021. Lost the world championship at Revelations 2. And now, 4 years later, Revelation 6 is slowly approaching. 28 days, December 28th, and I have a shot to make history in many different metrics. And yeah, Magnum Carter was supposed to be on tonight. But speaking of spots, I took it. I took his spot tonight on Sportswire the same way I took my spot as the rightful number one contender. Because as I've been saying for months, ever since I came back, this was my story. This was for me to handle. This was my task to just check off the list. I kind of made a bit of a monster with Dominic, and now I gotta kill it at Revelation 6 and take back what belongs to me.
There's a lot to unpack there because I remember you were here last year around this time, leading up to Revelations, and we were looking to see you win that world championship once again and kind of propel you to a year. Obviously, 2024, certainly had its ups and downs, and it was to be at the main event last year of Revelations 5 to get you that world championship, but yet it didn't happen. But now we're here once again, and it's kind of poetic in a sense because Dom was here last week, and I asked him that question between yourself and Magnum Carter, who he wanted, and he said you. He said you, and now you have a chance in some ways to start 2026 the way you would have wanted 2025.
Absolutely. It's no secret that this year could have been a lot better, especially with the injury. And starting the year and being halfway through the year for me has always been great. It's always been hit or miss, but it's just ending the year that's been a reoccurring struggle. And last year, I will admit, with a lot of things that did transpire, I didn't go about entering the new year the right way. And part of me feels like I had a bit of that karma coming with reality and so on and so forth. But this time, I earned it. This time, I was willing to blow every ligament in my knee that still works correctly for another chance. And I kept to my word. I became that person I didn't like, that person I don't want to be again. And Magnum Carter's not here tonight physically because of it, but I gotta live with it, and it just is what it is.
It's what it is, and we're going to show the footage here in a few minutes. I know a lot of people want to talk to you tonight, as they always do. But in a way,
That's true.
Magnum Carter had an opportunity also to have pulled the trigger. He had, you might want to say, a burning bullet. He had multiple occasions to do it, and he didn't. It was kind of something we talked about here last time on the show. And I said it when I was in the chat watching. We had Jason Storm here, a man you shared a locker room with before on a few different occasions, and he had an opportunity in his match to have gotten the job done, and in the same fashion, didn't do it. And I guess in a way, it's unfortunate what happened to Magnum Carter, but he had the opportunity, and he had at least 2 attempts to pull the trigger on your injured knee. He didn't do it.
Well, it goes back to what I was saying in the comments when he was on live, all bark, no bite. And I didn't show up to play. I didn't show up for even a 5-star match or for something for Copper Dragon to review. I showed up to remind a handful of people in this community why I am always trailblazing to the top, why I am the headline, and everything else I claim to be or I say or whatever the case may be. I showed up on one good knee with one goal in mind, and I did it. I don't like the fact I had to go after a man's injured neck when he's
Yeah, we know what
battling
the C
a
word with
major
him.
crisis,
We know the C word was thrown out there, and we know what he's been dealing with. This man, he's even talked about
Yeah,
other injuries he had, other than his neck injury, that he's dealt with to get himself in this position.
absolutely. And if there's one thing that's very apparent, he didn't come after my knee, but leading up to this match, Magnum Carter, he came after my pride. He judged my very, what's the word I'm looking for? My very manhood.
Yeah,
He judged my very identity. He judged my work ethic, and he just kept, pushing it verbally and then slamming me. And it just got to a point where I dug down deep, and it's like, this guy's not your friend, and even if he is, that doesn't bring you fortune. And I'm at a place where I really need fortune a lot more than
yeah.
friends.
No, you've definitely, I've known you a while. I've known you, for the better part of going on 2.5 years, and you've definitely went through it. But let me ask you a question before I show the footage of the match. And I know it's always hard to put yourself in someone else's position, but if you were in the position of Magnum Carter when you were down the way you were, would you have pulled that trigger? That's a tough question because I know
That's
you had to,
yeah,
but at your position, I mean, you tried so many times to get Magnum down. I mean, he just kept coming. He was like the boogeyman. He just kept kicking out. But I was curious, and I wish one of the things I didn't get a chance to ask Jason when he was here in his match with Soldier GP, because he had 2 opportunities to put Soldier away, especially with the concerto, and he didn't do it. And that's why I
yeah.
was curious if you were in Magnum's shoes and the way you were, and we know the injury that you had dealt with, would you have had you have done what Magnum didn't do?
Well, for someone that claims to be a role model for backyard and underground wrestling, he sure as shit didn't set a good example of following through on what he said. But that's neither here nor there. But I don't know. It's just, I guess the nicest way I could say it, and it's the absolute definite truth, is that Magnum Carter didn't need this victory like I needed this victory. He didn't need this chance like I needed this chance, whether you look at in or outside YBW endeavors. I
Right.
needed this. I needed this for a resurrection. I needed a reincarnation. I, in a sense, needed to be reborn to truly live. And Madam Carter, he has been kind of living the life, not La Vida Loca, but if I had the start that he had, I would be doing backflips and somersaults, but at the same time, I get we're in a whole new different generation and things aren't the way that they used to be X amount of years ago. But there's times when to step up and step aside, or you get burnt out pretty quick. And I just know that I'm willing to do what I need to do. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to follow through with it. Now, for Magnum Carter, I guess, a guilty conscience came into
I
play.
was gonna say before we put the footage up, he had said a lot about the friendship that it wasn't between you and him, but the only thing I could say is maybe he did have a conscience, and he maybe valued that friendship a lot more than he had said on here, because it was really just him just blurting it out. We had just assumed over the past year that you and him, you were best friends, the Golden Guns, and then he said things. You guys didn't really speak. I mean, it wasn't the friendship everybody thought. And then I guess maybe because he didn't pull the trigger, maybe it meant something to him, or maybe he had maybe a conscience, like you said, about some of the things he had said, especially on it. Because really, this is where it all started. I mean, I didn't even ask. I just assumed, like everybody else here in the chat, that you and him, were compadres, best buds.
Yeah, some could say thick as thieves, but I don't know with him at the moment, and I haven't talked to him since the
I don't
match for
I don't even know if he's gotten up. I mean, he
obvious
was down, and
reasons.
I mean, listen, I hope he's okay. I mean, I really hope, because we were supposed to have him here. And listen, we love having you here. Believe me, we love
No, I
having
understand. You ain't hurt
you
my
know,
feelings. No, I get
I
you.
know you would have probably, shot on me if Dom was here instead of you. You would have definitely shot on me if
I
Dom was
wouldn't
here.
shoot on you. I'd shoot on him.
Well,
But
you could, if we'd understand, because Dom and I
no, we
certainly had
love
a
Tom.
conversation.
Everyone here loves Tom.
No, we got that. We appreciate that. But obviously, let's get to the tape. Let's go to the footage, because I want to talk. We have a lot to talk about. I want to talk about the man that was the referee in this match, and I do have to talk about Dom, because Dom is going to certainly be out there lurking, and he's going to want his appearance on Sportswire soon. But let's get. I want to go like maybe more halfway toward it, because there's a lot here, and it's a wonderful match, and I really want to recommend people to go out and support YBW. I can't stress enough the importance of supporting these great companies. And I said it when Jason was here yesterday. I thanked a lot of the companies that come on here. One of the companies that's been here with us is YBW for quite a while now. So let's please support them and check out Anarchy Sanctified. But there's that man that you did kind of certainly have a confrontation there, just there with the hit marker ATK. You have certainly quite a history there, but we're about halfway through the match, and Magnum Carter he don't go down, man. I said it in the chat when we were all together watching a few hours ago. He is one of the biggest guys in the yard for a reason.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And he is one of like the very few people that comes in and makes an impact for someone that doesn't have that much experience. Well, I shouldn't say that. Not much backyard wrestling experience, because he has had previous wrestling experience,
Yeah.
semi trained. But no, when he originally came here, it wasn't hard. It wasn't hard training him. He's not someone that's uncoachable. He's not someone that um is really hard to work with. I mean, we all have our moments when we're like in our own heads and we think we know everything, but for the most part, he is very, very coachable, and he is very, very helpful. It just sucks that all of that kind of was put to the sidelines when it came down to this. And I don't know. I mean, I haven't forgotten about anything that he's put into Young Breakout Wrestling. I haven't forgotten about, the kind of person he is. Um, but in this match, I kind of forgot who I was for a second, and it
But
was a bit rough.
think about this match, right? And everything that you went through. I mean, he was a very, very worthy adversary. And let me ask you a question. Did you expect it to be as difficult as it was to have put him down?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I can only think of one other match when I needed to use more than two burnouts to win it. And even that didn't do the job, as I don't know
Yep.
how far back in the
We're
video we're
like
gonna be playing
we're
this.
yeah, well, I'm at like 25-minute mark right now. I kept it like
Okay, then maybe
two-thirds
this is
full.
gonna reach the end in maybe like 4 or 5 minutes. I'm not
It's
exactly
about like
sure.
9 minutes, about eight, maybe 7, 8 minutes. I figure we watch
Okay,
it a
if
little
if we
bit,
get
talk
there, we
15
get
more.
there. If we don't, we don't.
Well, we're
But
gonna get there. No, I actually made
okay,
sure that we talk a little bit about and give the
Often.
lead in because
Okay. That's cool.
I actually I really planned tonight's show. I really put some effort into this, so wanted to dive into it. But
I appreciate that. I
no,
appreciate
no,
that.
of course, no.
Okay.
But I mean, but obviously, listen, and I stated this is he also wanted this match. He had talked about his pinfall victories over Dom. We saw what he had did to ATK. He talked a lot about that last month on the show, but I mean, it took everything out of you. And, and you mentioned about the burnout and how that you thought you were going to put him away in your own right in multiple occasions. Was there a point, and we're going to come to it here shortly, where you thought, you know what, I don't know what it's going to take to put this guy away. And even when I reached for that bullet, for that burning bullet, that who knows with this guy, because he was like a monster. He was like one of those guys in a horror movie that you just can't kill.
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna be honest. If he didn't take an extra couple seconds to recuperate after hitting that 357, I don't know if I would have had the strength to kick out. Like, thankfully, he was exhausted enough to just take a second, which was all I needed to stay alive. But yeah, that like he is a Carter is a titan. Like, if I could put it that way. And when we get to like the burnouts and everything, I'm just like, I didn't think I was gonna win. Like when he kicked out of the third one, I'm like, oh well,
I know it was like, oh my
there's
god! I think
there's no
everybody
chance
in the
of
chat,
us.
I think I can speak because I see some people here in the chat that were there. I don't think I think we were all in shock. I mean, just the amount of how many times did it take, to you to put him away? It was just. I mean, we were all in shock. I mean, I kept chanting YB Dub, YB Dub. I was like, I mean, I don't know what it takes. I think Zilla was here in the chat. I think Jason Parker was there. I mean, there was a few of us that are here tonight that were in the chat, and I was amazed at just what it took.
Absolutely, and I was hesitating on firing that kick because it's a kick I don't really like to pull out often.
Less
I
than a
know what
handful
it
of
can
times in your
do.
career, you've done it too.
Three,
Yeah, yep.
third time, and it was definitely the charm, even though it wasn't the third time in the match. It only took one, but I wasn't gonna pull it. Like when I'm loading up the slug per se and getting ready to do what I gotta do. Um, Jesus, like I was having second thoughts. I was having a lot of second thoughts, and then it was one thing that Carter said that made me I blacked out for a second. I blacked out, and then I guess that's all he saw was black. I don't know what color he saw, but he definitely wasn't seeing the sunshine. Um,
uh,
yeah,
how much was Dom a factor from the outside in your head in terms of trying to finish the job here? Did he play at all into your mindset? Because he was standing there, he was there, he came out. That was something we didn't expect. And as the longer this match goes on, and seeing that man there, that man that obviously has been certainly a thorn in your side to reclaim that YBW championship, did he play it all in your mind and try to finish this?
I mean, I didn't really understand why he was really out there. I mean, I kind of get it, but at the same time, it's like you have a match right after this. You should be prepping for. You shouldn't be worried about what I'm doing. Uh, yeah, it definitely put a lot of people to sleep. I was about to fall asleep on the trampoline making snow angels.
Yeah, I know
I
at the
really
beginning
wanted
of
to
the match
watch.
that was the case. Really, interesting start. I mean, there obviously, yes, that was something that was, quite a topic, but he was still there throughout the match, and you're throwing everything out there at this
I
guy.
hit
This is
two of his
where,
moves. Yeah, speak of the
yep,
devil. I hit here's his piercing punch, and I hit a cutoff.
yep,
I never hit
just
spears
wouldn't put him
ever.
away.
Nope,
I know,
and it
I
didn't work.
in commentary was saying this as well. I
Yeah,
mean,
it
listen, I mean, it
just
was
isn't
this
it.
is what it meant. And then this is where it starts to lead us to that moment where you pulled out that burning bullet, which you never pull out. And obviously it's getting there. And this match really turned personal. There it is. There's number one.
Finally.
There's the first one you had. And 1, 2, and I think it was 2 and 9/10. It was 2 and 9/10 when
Oh
I
yeah, for
had
sure.
called it in the chat, and even ATK was kind of, it's a 2. That's a 2, and but you're going right back out in the offense, and you're going for it again. There it is. There's number 2. There's number 2. Right back on him. Come on, and double drop 1. Come on, ATK. Now, ATK was a little slow there on that count. Maybe that could have been a difference. It was 2 and
I will give
9/10.
him this. He was fair throughout the entire match. He was fair. I'll give him that.
Did that concern you at all with your history with him? Did that concern you at all?
I mean, if I cost him all those years ago when I was referee for a big match of his, it might have been, but I was mainly concerned about Carter.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
So I wasn't concerned.
And
I
there's
was
number 3, and
mainly
this should
concerned
be.
about that.
This is it. This is over. This should be. You're going right back on him. And there's 1, 2. What does it take to put this man down? I mean, you might have to literally put the bars just down on him. He talks about dropping bars. You literally have to drop those bars on him so he stays down. Boy.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of wrestling this year in the backyard and the underground, and I don't know if I've seen something like that where it's that many times to take one guy down still doesn't go down,
Yeah, I really felt like someone fighting Brock Lesnar at that moment, because I'm just like, okay,
Well,
he's gonna get up and he's gonna kill me.
Well, you know what? Well, now this is where the moment of truth is about to come. And that moment of
I
truth.
didn't want to do it.
But you had no choice. You had to do it. You had to do it.
I didn't, and he said those infamous words. I thought you were better than him.
And then
I honestly, and this is scary, I don't remember.
There it is! There it is! There's no way that anybody gets up from that. That's it. That's it. Throw in the towel. Throw in the towel. And this is it. This is all she wrote. You had to do it. You had to do it. And 1, 2, and 3. I understand where ATK is coming from. I understand, but you were left no choice. You were left no choice. You were left no choice. And yeah, he's staying down, and he's down for the count, and he was down for, let's just say, about 10,000. Let's just say I could have counted backwards from 10,000 to 1, and he still wasn't getting up. And obviously, you have a conscience, but you had to do it.
When the bell, because when he said that, I don't even remember hitting the kick. I don't, Tom. I don't even remember hitting the kick, and then the bell rung, and I snapped back into it. Like, I kind of just went idle for a second. It was like I was in airplane mode, and then I kind of just looked at the damage done, and then I looked at ATK, and I'm looking around, and I kind of just get a feeling. I read the room, and it's just like, oh shit, I won. I don't remember what I did, but I won. I mean, I'll take it, but I don't know.
But you had to do it. But then there he is. There he is with that Razor Instinct, the double champion, but the YBW champion, the man that has been standing in your way for over a year to get back that championship you haven't had in 4 years. And there is Dom, and Dom wastes no time, and he's doing everything he can for you to join Magnum Carter to be permanently down. And certainly this is just classic textbook Dominic over the past year.
Yeah, bitch made. Yeah, you say it a bit nicer than I do. Sorry, I'm trying to refrain from going off, but this really pissed me off. Yeah, it hasn't even been 5 minutes since the bell rang, and I said he can't stick to his own thing. He takes my thing here.
But he was upset because you were doing it to him. I mean, I think and I guess what I had said in the chat was that, well, he's just going to do what he's done over the past year to keep his championship, and he's just ensuring himself another year run as champion, because he figures by doing this to you, it's going to leave you in basically the same condition Magnum Carter is going into December 28th.
Yep, it's not gonna happen. See, the mistake Dom has made, which a lot of people have made when it comes to high profile matches like this, he let me breathe.
Mm,
He let me live. I'm still able to walk. Maybe not in the best shape right now, maybe not
right.
in perfect tip top tier condition to go out for a run or a nice jog in my brand new jacket, which you can get on T Public, by the way.
Yeah.
Shameless plug, but
Oh, you
I
know what? We're
guess
gonna pull the T Public store, and I have three YBW shirts, so I'm sure we'll add four before the holidays are out. So that's okay. We'll
which
support.
I highly appreciate. But as you can see, I'm not backing down. I said it since last year. I'm not scared of Dominic, whether I'm on one good leg or I have one good arm, whether I'm concussed or whatever. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna keep fighting until I can't no more. And he did this, and I know exactly why he did this. He did this because he has nobody to hide behind. December 28th. It's infamous. It's been documented last year. He had help to beat me. His tag team partner, which I'll get to him in a little bit, is already preoccupied with his own match at Revelations. And his brother's not around anymore. And everyone is stacked for Revelation 6. We have a 6 match card, which I'll be making
Absolutely.
some announcements for the rest of the matches later on.
Sure.
But Dom knows he has nobody. Because you can expect it to be like last year. There won't be any rules. It's going to be a fight. But the difference is it will be one on one. And Dom knows if I can put Magnum Carter through all of that and come out alive, his reign as champion will be dead.
Well, speaking of people that are dead right there, and we certainly don't want anybody to be dead, but Magnum Carter still hasn't gotten up, and we're talking about that's at least 5 minutes down. But I mean, I hear you on a lot about what you say about Dom, but I suppose I still could make the argument that, well, he stayed on top. And I mean, anybody in his shoes is just ensuring that his championship run continues. He figures by doing what he did to you. We know your injury. You it was obviously Magnum. I mean, he could have pulled the trigger, and he's just doing what he needs to do as a champion to continue that run and have you going into to Revelations, well, as vulnerable a state as you could be. I guess that would be the strategy one would point out.
No, it would be, but like I said, he let me live. He allowed me to continue this life of wrestling. He could have put me out for another couple months, maybe for up to a year, and he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it because he doesn't have the strength to do it. He might have the half witted mind to try and attempt it, but just like Madam Carter, he doesn't have the full brain capacity to pull that trigger. And that would have
Mm.
been the smartest decision in about, let's see, 499 days that he could have made. But he didn't do it. But he wants to face me, though, just not at
He did
100%.
say that,
So,
and I that's what I do agree with you on. And we're gonna get to the chat in a minute. And I know you have some announcements. I want to give you something. People want to talk to you. We're gonna do that. But he wanted you. He wanted you. So this was exactly his strategy. In some ways, I guess you could make the point he wouldn't have did this to Carter if Carter had when he had the opportunity to put you down. I don't know if Dom would have done that to Magnum Carter, but he knew
well, he
exactly
probably
what he was doing.
he probably would have, and I wouldn't have been surprised at all. I mean, this is the same
Mm,
guy that tried to bring in a chair to try and take him out when I saved him. This is the same
yes.
guy that used a broom and a steel chair in a once in a lifetime triple threat match tonight. And
Well,
this
he
was,
did
of
take a
course,
pin. He did. You know what? He listen, and I give you
oh
that.
yeah, he did.
He himself ran into maybe his first roadblock in a very long time. He goes into this. I mean, fingers have to be pointed. You did make a point that on his own, well, he wasn't successful tonight. And if he's on his own in 28 days, I mean, you're going to be a world champion here in YBW for the first time in 4+ years.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because when it's one on one with Dom, 9 times out of 10, I beat Dom, and
Mm.
that's a fact.
And you notice the one thing, Dom is not here in the chat. He hasn't said one word. I've taken a peek, and he's not here. I mean, do you think that's because he doesn't want to talk to you? He doesn't want to face you, or do you think maybe he's licking his wounds after what happened at Anarchy Sanctum 5? Or what do you think about that?
It's not so much what I think, it's what I know, and I know that Dom's afraid. I know
Okay.
that he is counting these very, very short days, these 28 days that are just gonna fly by like this entire year flew by.
Mm.
Um, every good thing comes to an end, but it's just a shame that his reign just hasn't been a good thing for any metric. Let's just call a spade a spade. And the hand that I've been dealt, Tom, I always know how to pick up a new card and play with the hand I've been dealt and win game after game after game. Even when I lose, I still win. But now I'm really gonna win. December 28th.
Now I
And
have to ask
Dom
you.
knows it.
Well, we're gonna get to the chat. Everybody wants to talk to you. We're gonna do that. I have to ask you the one more question on Dom because I
Of
know
course.
you heard about this and you kind of barfed when you heard this last week when Dom was here, and we were talking about Dom's run and you pointed it out. We're closing in on 500 days, but I hate to point this out because this is going to probably certainly I know going to make you barf again. But when you think about backyard wrestling currently, right, in backyard wrestling and who are the world champions, who are the people on top, you can make the case arguably Dom is the guy right now. You think about his run, you think about how as long he's been champ, he's a double champion now, what he's
Oh,
done,
sweet
who
Jesus
he's
Christ.
beaten. I mean, so what do you think about that in that right now? And I've talked about a lot of champions in backyard and underground wrestling over the past few years on Sportswire, but right now as it stands, like Dom's the guy. He is the guy, is the champion in backyard wrestling. I mean, what do you think about that going in to your showdown with him at Revelation 6?
Just because it's been lengthy doesn't make it legendary.
I say.
And he's had a few good moments, a few great matches here and there, but it doesn't matter because the most memorable thing about his legacy isn't going to be how he won the championship and who he beat in his run. It's going to be who ended his run to where he couldn't run anymore with
Mm.
it.
Okay, that's a good point. Okay, you know what? I give you that. Touche. All right, so obviously, headline is Aaron Blaze not impressed with the run that Dom has had with the YBW Championship. Probably
I'm
less
not impressed with
impressed.
Dom, period.
Well, I got that. I got that. But we're going to get to some people here in the chat that may, I think, be more impressed with you. Speaking of one person that's impressed with you, I think Chase Wakefield, Mr. Chase Wakefield, the man
My
who,
boy.
who's been married, and we're waiting to see the footage of the Chase Wakefield wedding
Oh, yeah, that
invitation.
still needs to come out, yeah.
So we can talk about it. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say, well, I had my guest last weekend, Peanut Butter and Jealous, and they were like, we were talking about this off the air. We were like, do we talk about it? And I was like, nah, we'll wait. Well, we don't want to say,
Now,
yeah,
wait,
we don't
wait.
want to do that. No, the guys were like, good. And we all had we'll laugh before we were going to go on the air, but we'll wait when Chase releases it. And I'm sure we'll have some more headlines to talk about, but we'll
Yes,
leave that at
sir.
that. Thank you, Chase. Hello, Zilla. Zilla was there in the chat. Certainly good to see Zilla once
How was
again. And
it?
speaking of people that want to issue an apology, that is the hit marker himself. I would like to apologize for my actions tonight. I don't know what happened. Something in me just snapped, or something tells me we may see the hit marker on in a little while, but he would like to apologize. And also wanted to say, I hope you're feeling all right. Wish I could have laid Dom out before he did more damage, but we know that ATK couldn't do that. We do know that ATK could not
Yeah.
stop what he and Dom was doing to you. He couldn't do it.
No, he couldn't. And I'm regardless of if he was able to or not, I'm glad he didn't do anything because this is gonna be between me and Dom. And if anyone's gonna handle it, it's gonna be me, whether I'm 100% or not.
Okay, well,
But
good
I
answer.
appreciate the sentiment for what it's worth.
Well, that's a good answer. He's certainly got his own hands full, especially at the end of Anarchy Sanctum 5. And I think Jason and
My
I think the
boy.
same. He says, finish the story. And you're going to have to finish it this time because you were in this boat last year. So basically, you're trying to make up for what was supposed to be this year for next year. And yes, hello, Zilla. Thank you, Trevor, for being here. If you haven't, you hit the sub button for us. Let's go, Aaron Blaze. Thank you very much. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
for
And
sure.
also, I saw, yes, Zilla. Yes, so I had said you and I were in the stream
I'm
together.
okay, Zilla. I appreciate you. I'm okay. For the
Now,
most part, I'm okay.
Jason's asking Zilla a question, which is kind of funny. Do you think Aaron Blaze will do it this time and finally become the world champion this year?
That is a
I'll
question.
That's a great question. I wonder if Zilla will answer. I think she will. I have a feeling. Blaze better do it. If he doesn't, then I don't know what we'll do. I think that's a good point because I'm not going to compare it to Cody Rhodes because obviously we know the whole Cody Rhodes story, but
Right.
I think there is a feeling, at least in YBW, because when Dom was here, let's circle the wagons back to when Dom was here on Sportswire last week. We were talking about it basically that if Dom has his way, and I had brought up the point, if you were vulnerable and wounded, Magnum was wounded and vulnerable, that he walks right into Revelations and retains his championship. I think we're looking at an 900, 1,000 day run as champion. We're looking at a guy that's maybe is going to be a champion for our generation to a longer than a Roman Reigns. We're talking maybe Bob Backlund, Bruno San Martino. I mean, that's why I think there is a point that ATK makes. If this doesn't work out for you, we could be looking at Dom as champion, maybe going into, I had even made the point, if I'm sure you didn't listen to this, you definitely didn't listen to this point, but I had made the point to Dom that if he walks away and he walks out of Revelations and still YBW champion, I had said my prediction would be is that he'll retain the YBW championship until we elect a new president, which is
Oh
3 years
Jesus.
from now.
Oh Jesus Christ.
3 years. I know. That's the point I made. That's why this is an important match. This is how the importance of it. I had made that point on Sportswire. I mean, and Dom, kind of looked and kind of agreed in a way. Riley Bates, I'm going to move on from it. Riley doesn't like you. I got that. We want to move on. Thank you, Riley. We appreciate you, but we want to move on. And, we just want to move on. We want, please, positivity. I made a whole speech on positivity yesterday, so let's do that. Thank you, though. Blaze is going to win this championship. Well, I mean, as I said, that's going to certainly now be ingrained in your memory now that if Dom wins in 28 days from now, he may be and still YBW champion until we elect a new president. That's what my point is.
I'd have to stick the entire roster on him if that's the case. All at once, not even in doses, just at once, bro.
Fox McCoy, the enforcer of Sportswire Radio, wanted to say trampolines are infamous knee killers. That's a good point. You can certainly. Copper Dragon had made the same point on a previous episode.
It's not how I got injured, but that's true though.
No, Copper Dragon actually had made that point on a previous episode, and I think James Taylor and Dalton Scully made the same point as well. Yes, hello to Riley. Magnum Carter could have fit in almost every era of YBW. Not gonna lie. Yeah, I mean, true. He's a great competitor, but he's here. He's actually here with a comment, and I'm going to give him that opportunity. Now, apparently, he is commenting from his hospital bed, which we're very, very happy to see him here in the chat. Obviously, understandably, as to why he's not here tonight, but respect. During the match, it came to me. The friendship was real, and what I did wasn't right for me to do as a friend. Halfway through, it went from fighting to surviving. I tried to show I belong here, and I'm sorry. Your reaction to what the MC of the 1-2-3, Magnum Carter, had to say here just now.
Sir,
I know, a lot to think about there.
Yeah, that's a lot to take in. Shit.
I know it's hard.
Yeah, not to be that guy. Can you circle back to that? Yeah, I don't have comments right now. There's a lot.
Okay, well, we'll move on here. You compose yourself. We have plenty of other comments, so we'll figure that out here. And also, I should have been more supportive to your goals instead of trying to improve my stature in the company. Now, that's a point you could comment on because this was something that Magnum Carter talked about here on Sportswire. He talked about his opportunity, his moment. He wanted to make a point. He talked about ATK on here. He talked about Dom, but unfortunately, well, not to steal a reality, phrase from, a group that you've had some issues with, but the reality has set in that Magnum Carter mic drop here. Maybe if we could have turned back time to quote Cher, maybe those things he said on here and his actions on previous YBW shows in the lead up to this would have had him here on Sportswire at the very least rather than in a hospital bed.
Yeah, I don't know if this is post-match clarity or legitimate guilt seeping in, but
But
whichever
you have
avenue
guilt,
you
but I
look
can
at it,
see you
it's
have guilt. And
yeah,
you're a man that certainly doesn't have that much of it. Understandably so. You've went through a lot in your career. You've been to a lot of different places, a lot of things, not going there. But when it came to Magnum, and we showed the footage of what you did to him, but you had no choice, but you have the guilt there. Maybe it's because, well, I had, asked you about him and he didn't do it. He didn't pull the trigger because he had guilt. And maybe that's when deep down two friends needed each other more than maybe they both realized. But unfortunately, the only thing you can do is pick up the pieces and just what if?
yeah. Well, I think we can all agree that someone had to.
You had no choice. You had no choice. You had to do it. And Magnum had you down first multiple times and didn't do it. I mean, listen, let me ask you, do you think Magnum Carter will be back out there in a YBW capacity after what we witnessed and what he went through? Do you think we'll see him again in YBW?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean,
All
I
right.
didn't kick him. I didn't kick him that hard. But
Hey,
yeah,
listen. I
hey,
mean,
you never know. But while this is fresh on my mind and I'm looking at the landscape of YBW, I'm gonna announce one
oh
match
yeah,
real quick for
let's
Revelation
go for it because we
6.
got a few things to get through. Sure.
Yeah, of course. Um, at Revelation 6, opening the show, there is going to be, for the first time ever, a fatal four-way tables, ladders, and chairs pinfall match for the Hardcore Championship.
Whoa.
And Shane Savage, the Deadshot, will be defending the Hardcore Championship against Raven, who's impressed me recently, Damian Hunter, who is owed a rematch for the
And
Hardcore
we know
Championship,
that story. Yep. Good point on Damien.
and the third man being the MC of 1, 2, 3,
Wow.
who is owed a rematch for the Hardcore Championship as well in Magnum Carter.
Wow, Magnum Carter is returning to YBW, and he's returning for a championship he held, and he wants back. And Magnum Carter, I guess they can't keep him in the hospital bed for too long because Magnum Carter is going to find his way back, and he's going to find his way back potentially to championship gold here in 28 days from now. What a way to make an announcement. That's a headline. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? There'll be more headlines here tonight. That's why you've got to hit that follow button on Instagram for YBW. You've got to hit that sub button for me. You've got to do it. You've got to follow them on Facebook, TikTok, buy merchandise, because that MC of the 1, 2, 3, you can't put him down permanently, and he'll be back. And boy, I cannot wait to see that. We know the history with him and Damian Hunter. We know that. Let me tell you something. That's a headline. That's a headline, and you answered it. Magnum Carter will be back out there, and thank you for that. Yeah, Aaron, you had to do it. I think ultimately, at the end of the day, you were left no choice. You had to put him away. The burnout, 3 of them in a row didn't work, and you had to pull out that burning bullet. Happy Aaron won. Pissed about what happened after with Dom. I mean, Dom
I
does
agree, Trevor. Thank
what
you. I appreciate
Dom
your
does what
support.
Dom does. I mean, that's just when he's got more comments. And well, the way you are right now would seem like you are just focused with a laser into 28 days from now. That's what it would seem like to me. And you got this, Aaron, and he knows he pissed off the wrong person. And I think last year is still in the back of your mind. And I think that 2025, you wanted to be better, but 2026 is going to be, like I said, what 2025 will be for you. Speaking of people that we both mutually know has been here many times, wanted to give you a shout out. I'm going to let him do it. The one and only Austin James wanted to say, my main man, Aaron, the headline Blaze. Hopefully we can mix it up in the ring. And if you need backup, I'm a phone call away. So very nice of a man. You've seen in places like DBW,
I appreciate it.
EBW, both EBW companies. GTS, by the way, yeah, that GTS, and you may have some backup if you need. There you go. There you have it. You good, Carter? Well, yeah, he'll be good. He'll be out there in 28 days. Thank you, Jason. No, Jason, good man. Jason is. Hit the sub button for YBW. I would really appreciate that. Magnum says he is fine. He'll be out of the hospital, and did they give an update yet? Well, I think he just Magnum will answer that in a minute. Aaron is going to beat the hell out of Dom, and Dom is not here tonight. I will say that Dom
No.
is not here. It's not
Yeah,
here.
literal
So
hit and run. Literal hit and run.
also, concussion protocol. They're running tests on his neck for obviously safety reasons, and we know because of what he's dealing with at the moment. And yes, we want to wish the MC of the 1-2-3 a very, very speedy recovery. Tom knows how to count. Well, well, somebody counted to three against him. I mean, if you want to go and put it that way, and I'll put that footage up here as we go out there and show it shortly. But yeah, I mean, listen, Dom, did take a pin. He did take a pin, and we'll get to some more comments
Karma.
while we show the footage, and also hello to yes, we want to wish Magnum a speedy recovery. Absolutely, we love Magnum, and also good point from the hit marker. Am I getting fined for what happened at the end of Anarchy Sanctum 5?
No.
No. Okay, it's very nice of you. It's very nice of you. Holiday spirit. I can understand why, and we actually put that footage there, obviously of the promo. That certainly, as I said in the chat when it was taking place, a pipe bomb. It was certainly one of those pipe bombs, and obviously somebody had to go out there and stop it. And well, it was ATK. Don't worry, I'll be back in time for Revelations, fully healed or not. I don't know what I'm doing. Well, now he does know. And Aaron is ending Dom's reign. And I'm going to say I'll give half a loaf, but we'll move on because I get the point. Thank you, Riley. Though we like Riley, we like Aaron, and we'll leave it to that. But we appreciate it. Yes, hello to Ox, and hello to Johnny Velocity. Johnny wanted to pop in, say hello. Thank you, Johnny. Johnny, the ROEW Prestige champion and the EWA Eternal champion. We live and love it when Johnny's here, and but certainly. Yeah, I mean that's obviously the lead up of what we saw at the end. And like you said, listen, that's why we're not finding we're not finding ATK, and certainly I hope that the mask was found from Tack, and certainly, but yeah, that chain, yeah, I can understand why the suspension would be a concern. But yes, hello to Johnny. Hello to Johnny. Now that's an announcement. I agree. Magnum's reaction is, I don't know what staying down means, and now he feels less guilty. I want to say hello to our friend Camo Cam from TikTok and the IMF. She does the predictions. She does the results. She's kind of a mini Copper Dragon, and she predicts all the shows. She wants to say hi. And, so ATK suspension, no fine, no nothing from it, and he gets a pass because obviously Figs Tack said we didn't really want it. And I think the point was made by management in the chat that we were concerned about being thrown off the air, right? So that's why we'll let this one pass. But normally ATK would at least be getting a severe fine. Yeah, I understand. I completely understand. So
I think both of them in the respect of fairness, but we're taking a little bit of a hiatus as it is to get suited up and get things in order for Revelation. So by the time they would have been suspended, it would be time for them to go anyway. So I'm not even going to bother. I have bigger fish to fry than filling out meaningless paperwork and putting all these other plans together that mean absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things, because they're going to fight. They're going to fight. And I would hate to be both of them right now, especially my cousin, who is very stubborn, for lack of a better term.
I'm gonna let Riley ask this question because it is a legitimate question. I'm gonna let it pass, and I'm gonna do it.
That's a surprise.
I do like Riley, but he said, would there be any other title right now you want other than the world title? Would there be any other title you want at the moment?
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Let me read the.
So if you didn't get a shot at the world title,
what title in YBW would you want?
Yeah.
I guess hardcore, because I'm technically still owed a rematch for it. I mean, I kind of did award it to Magnum Carter and all of that. maybe breakouts. I mean, I haven't held it since 2023, but I truly believe that the World Championship is the way to go. It's where I need to go, and I don't think I could carry on with making any other decision of what to go after.
Oh, that's a good answer. And obviously, we also want to point out for Riley that Riley will definitely be a topic next Sunday when the Alpha returns to Sportswire Radio. The Alpha will return here, and I'm sure Riley will be here on Sportswire in some capacity. But we thank him for that answer. And I'm going to take this off the screen because apparently the hit marker wanted to say that he does need to say this only if you knew the full truth. Now, apparently, if you would allow me to invite someone on here because there is somebody that would like to say a few things about their actions throughout tonight's show. And I know that you are the owner of YBW. So I'm going to have to ask for your permission in this particular case to allow this individual to come on here and explain their actions.
Sure, why not?
Okay. Well, all
Let's
right.
do
Well,
it.
for those that are listening and watching here on Sportswire Radio, the hit marker himself has arrived because he would like to tell us about the full truth.
So it's not exactly what you think it is. And if Blaze knows our history, he would know what I'm talking about. So there's a lot more to what's going on between me, him, and Tack. A lot of things that the company doesn't even know about. But something that I have on my phone in audio files. And I feel like when the time's right, I want to share those, but right now isn't the time. As you know, Blaze has got his war with Dominic going on. I got my war with Tack going on. There will be a time to share it, and I feel like it could be soon. But for now, I think we need to wait on that.
Well, let me ask you one question. Do you think it'll be soon, as in before December 28th, or maybe I'm missing something?
It could very well be before the 28th.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, a lot of missing pieces in the story, which trails all the way back to Revelations 4.
Oh, I see.
What about it?
You know what happened at the end, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, let's take a trip on memory lane, getting kicked in the mouth, put out of competition for about a month. Yeah, I don't have the energy to be super spiteful in regards to that. I can only deal with 1 ounce of stupidity at the time. What about it?
You don't know the full truth of that. What you know is, yes, I kicked you in the mouth, Tack hit you with the belt, he hit me with a chair the next night. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that went on before that. And I feel like a lot of that is why we're in the position we're in today. You are not back at the head of YBW like you want to be. I'm over here fighting my past demons. And it's because of your cousin. And when the time's right, I am going to send the company the files. And when I tell them to, I will have them show it publicly.
Okay, these aren't the Epstein files. Like, let's just call a spade here. Like, I don't get.
They're phone calls.
Phone calls
between me and Tack.
Yeah, about your little plan to take me out. It failed because I'm still standing, buddy. I don't get what you're trying to say, as you're stucking in more ways than one here.
Well, it's good to see you, ATK, but I think we're all wondering here, and
yeah,
I get
this is the most cryptic shit ever.
That wasn't my plan.
I see.
Taking you out at Rev, that wasn't my call.
Yeah, right. That's funny. That's funny. You're
Tack
not a
was
good
the one that
liar.
wanted to do it. I'm not lying. I
Yes.
have the phone calls recorded. I'm not lying. Because what do I get? And I want you to really think about this. If it was me, what am I getting out of kicking you square in the face at Revelations and kicking you out of the United Front?
Well, you
Why
tell me, smartass, because I'm not the one that did it. You did.
why would I need to do that? And also, doesn't it seem weird that after that happened was when Tack jumped the gun on me?
You want to know what that sounds like to me? A personal problem. It's got nothing to do with me.
It has a lot to do with you.
How?
Because
How?
you're putting the blame back on me. And that's the whole reason that a lot of our backstage disputes have happened.
Ah, I see. So what he's trying to tell you, Mr. Headline, is that the problems you and him have are really about Tack and something else, and that's why he's here to give his own revelation, and he's forewarning you of maybe what potentially could be ahead.
You can choose to believe me or not to believe me. That's fine. I know you don't like me. I don't like you. We have our issues. But for once, do not put your family above all. Because every time you've done that, it has come back to bite you square in the ass. Look what happened with Javian. Look what happened with Madness.
Watch it. Watch it, bud.
When has it ever worked out for you?
You know, I'm curious on something, and maybe this is maybe a little bit off the cuff, but do you think potentially, Mr. Hitmarker, that this could are you potentially telling the Headline that maybe this could once again be a distraction for Aaron Blaze going into his match with Dom, and this could be something maybe that could, I don't know, because we've talked a lot about tonight the importance of him taking the YBW championship away from Dom, and maybe this, what you've come on here with this revelation, maybe this is yet another roadblock in the Headline's way to
Okay,
recap
time
the
out,
goal.
time out, time out, time out, time out. I'm sorry. I don't like interrupting you, but
Sure.
I have a low tolerance for okay. Let's make one thing clear right now to everyone watching,
Okay.
including the guy below me.
Okay.
If Tack was after the world championship, Tack would be after the world championship. If Tack was after me, Tack would be after me. See, what you still don't know about, people in my family, since you like to bring up my family. Um, if they want to do something, they're just gonna jump straight into it. They don't need to play all these games. They don't need to bite their time. They are going to get right into the nastiest parts of it to clean themselves up and make them look in the best shape that they can be in their lives. Tack came back after you. He cost you the world championship. He didn't join reality. He didn't make a statement to Dominic saying he was after him. He flipped him off and he busted your lip open. And now you guys are going to fight at Revelations in the semi main event in YBW's first ever Texas Death Match,
Mm.
where the only way to win is you have to score either a pinfall or submission, and then you have to keep them down for an additional 10 seconds. So it's like a little mix of a regular match and a last man standing match. Light tubes will be there, tacks will be there, not of course tack will be there, but I mean thumbtacks, people. Um chairs, ladders, tables, you name it. Whatever you decide to do for your crazy deathmatch shit, I don't care. You guys can settle it. But if Tack wants to do something, he's just gonna do it and get to the point. He came after you, ATK. Not Dom, not me, not anything else. He cost you. You, and all your you-ness. I don't even have a different terminology for it. He came after you. And if Tack does come after me, whether I win the world title or not, I will win the world championship. Then I'll gladly go into World War V with my cousin, and I'll handle it then. But if Tack wanted to get rid of me, and if Tack wanted to lay me out,
And
he
I
would have
put that
done it by
footage
now.
up there, which is, and there's the footage for you. And Zilla, you can stay in the chat. We're fine now. But there's the footage. Mr. Hitmarker, when you had that, it seemed like YBW Championship in your grasp once again, and that's kind of led us to what we're seeing in 28 days from now. And I'm sure that that's something that's still in the back of your mind, and why you did come out also earlier tonight in Anarchy Sankin 5 to finish the show, Mr. Hitmarker.
You know what? I'm done trying to be partial. You know what the problem with you is, Blaze?
Here we
You
go.
and your entire family is a bunch of selfish pricks.
Yeah,
You
that's
take
why
the
we made
spot.
you That's why we made you champion, because we're selfish pricks, bud.
Yeah, and then that
That's why
same
we helped
and
you,
then that
and that's why we helped you stay champion in one of the biggest matches of your career, Mister 399. Because we're selfish
one
pricks.
match,
Yeah.
one match,
Two
one match we
matches
helped you
to
with.
make you champion and to keep you champion when you probably would have lost it. You're welcome. Shout out to your referee.
And then that same family took that away from me. And not only that, before you start rambling on again,
I'm not the one
that
rambling.
same family, before Mr. Longest reigning world champion became a huge prick, your cousin also stole that moment from
You are
him.
Dom. You are Dom. You
Dumb.
are Dom because you're both pricks. What's your point? Oh, gotcha. The sloth prick. Got you. The sloth one. The sloth one.
I
Not
think I'm about to
Voldemort.
hear
Not
that
Voldemort.
reference. Someone here in the chat did reference that, but we'll take it anyway for that. Thank you.
Lord, Jesus help us. Jesus.
Well,
And then
obviously,
and
yes.
no, I'm not done yet.
Shit.
And then when
I wish you
Volador
were. I wish you
When
were.
Volador finally got his moment, what did you do? You stomped his head in the ground and forced him to vacate the title. Because the spotlight wasn't on you. And when that happens, it's the same old thing all over again.
It hasn't been the same old thing for 4 years, bud. I don't know what show you've been watching.
Anything that doesn't have to do with you.
Whoa!
So the shows that suck. Got it.
Whoa!
Are they the ones that where you try to bring a new age and oh, that's right, no one remembers it. Oh, my bad.
We're gonna let that slide. We're not.
But
Yeah, we're gonna let it slide with my sloppy seconds. You're right.
at least I didn't go halfway across the country just to get terribly booked.
No comment on that. I see where this is going.
No, it's fine. It's fine because not that I really want to go that route, but the difference between you and I, whether I'm a good guy or a bad guy, or whether I'm real or fake, is I help elevate the next generation.
So that's
I
why you
make a
so
lot
that's
of
why you
creations. Yeah, I
so
make
that's
a
why
lot
you
of
punt kicked your
creations.
best
I
friend
make
in
a
the
lot of
throat.
moment.
So that's
Yeah.
why you punt kicked your best friend in the throat to help elevate him.
I didn't punk kick him in the throat. I punk kicked him in the head.
No, it was definitely in the throat.
Well, you did have a
I was
front row
standing
seat.
right there.
He was the referee. But I guess then, Mr. Hitmarker is back here, and wasn't the line we had a few months ago when you came back ATK, and I know Mr. Carter was here for that, it was best for business, and not necessarily is maybe the move where we're all going to be exchanging holiday cards and maybe, watching the ball drop this year for New Year's, but well, I guess the point was, well, you're back because it's best for business. Was that something we had talked about here on this platform 3 months ago? Anybody have a thought on that?
It's the best thing you could
Yeah,
have ever
now
done
he
with your company.
and now he's trying to throw me off, and this is jealousy taking over again, like it always does. And you know what? It's fine.
Well,
It's
Zilla
fine.
forgave ATK. Well, I guess apparently one person's forgiving you, ATK, and that's Zilla. Zilla's forgiving you. I mean, I guess,
And as
but
long as he minds his own business, I don't care what he does. But once again, he's getting involved in my
well,
business. It was
I
one thing to
guess
be referee, but now this is not stuff I need
You're
heading into
and
my
now
match.
and now you're complaining, but I did what I said I was gonna
I'm
do.
not
Unlike
complaining.
unlike you, I at least stayed partial.
that,
Okay.
well, that was a point we did talk about, and I had
Yes.
asked the
And
headline that question. I
I'm
had actually asked him that. We were here earlier. I'm
yeah, and he
sure.
did a good job. Congrats. You were partial. But yeah, I'm supposed to be partial about you bringing up old shit where you kicked me in the head and I was out for a couple of months. I'm supposed to be partial about that?
It's not my problem, as someone else would
No,
say.
no, 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 no.
I didn't kick you. I didn't kick you in the head that hard.
According to your logic, I'm supposed to be partial. So I'm supposed to be partial about you and my cousin laying me out for about a month and a half. Do you know how stupid that sounds?
Well, let me ask you then, Mr. Hitmarker. In 28 days from now, I'm assuming that you're not going to be impartial with what you do to Mr. Headline's cousin. I would assume,
Yeah,
right?
worry about
No,
tack. Worry about
no,
tack.
I'm
Have
not
a
gonna be
field day.
partial.
Have a field day.
Oh,
I don't care.
hey,
It's
when
your
I'm
business.
when I'm done with him, I'll make sure I ship him back to your place in a UPS box.
Would that include the mask?
Cool, cool. I'll gladly return it.
I don't know. That might be the whole way in another country.
Well, at least it's not another promotion at this point. But I mean, obviously, it seems that the reason that you've come here, Mr. Hitmarker, is first of all to reveal that there will be phone calls to be released soon, right? Talking about
There'll be
Mr.
phone
Blaze's cousin,
calls.
and then
There'll be phone
also
calls.
you're here to also to let us know in 28 days from now you are going to be rather very partial in what you're going to do to TAC, and then is there something else you may like to tell us that we're missing here in this rather, I don't want to say amusing, but rather curious return for you here on Sportswire?
All I can say is get ready for a spectacle of a lifetime. This is more than likely going to be one of the most brutal matches in YBW history.
A Texas death match. Are you prepared for this? I mean, Mr. Headline just made that announcement about 5 or 10 minutes ago, and I know you've went through a lot inside and outside that ring, but I mean, after what you did to TAC, I mean, can't we say conversely, well, he's going to certainly want to do what you've said you'll do to him just now?
And you asked the right question. Am I prepared for it? If I
Yes.
wasn't prepared for it, would I have not asked for it on Instagram? Like,
That's true.
what,
I
an
did. I
hour or
saw
two
the
ago?
video. I did watch the video.
And that's why I booked it. But I don't. But I don't listen. I don't listen. I'm so clueless to the tone. I'm completely tone deaf. Yeah, completely.
You know what? I think I know New Year's resolutions are still a ways to go, but if I were to have one New Year's resolution, gentlemen, and I hope I'm not overstepping here, but I think my New Year's resolution might be that in 2026, you two may have to meet in a YBW ring to maybe settle these rather still simmering personal differences. Maybe that's my New Year's resolution that I would like to have. Maybe that's something you guys might be interested in.
It's not on
Time
my
will
radar
tell.
right now.
Time will
I'm
tell.
not
Not on
against
mine
it,
either.
but it's not on my radar. And that's
Oh,
not even a diss. I've got enough to worry about.
I
Yeah,
see.
you got to worry about Dom. I got to worry about putting your cousin into early retirement.
He's already partially retired as it is.
Well, we
So.
did see one person retire today, but I guess that we'll see two by the time 28 days from now. I would assume.
Wait, who retired today?
Um, someone in a company you worked for,
Who?
RTJ. He retired. His career is over. His
Career?
career, Yes, his in-ring wrestling career is over.
Oh, sorry, I don't remember it.
I see. Good enough. But obviously, I'm sure though. Never. Yeah. Well, we'll let that one pass. But obviously, the point may be is that in 28 days from now, ATK is preparing to, certainly send Tack back in a box to your house for reasons I have no idea.
And I
Masked
will return it.
return to sender, maybe.
Yep, return to sender.
Hey,
I
he's
guess
not my family. I ain't keeping him.
well, I mean,
I'm not his
and
babysitter.
on that note, before we get ready to get a few other things out of the way and keep you fellas, it was your day today. Maybe I should have changed this to ATK day, but rather that would be a bad idea because after we had phone calls compared to the Epstein files, and I would certainly hope they're not comparable to that. But I guess we'll find out. And there was a guy here in the chat last
Yeah,
time.
I'm gonna regret that later.
Yeah, well, that's okay. There's plenty of regrets we all have, but I mean, obviously, there was a guy last month here in the chat
Amen.
that certainly did say something would be being revealed soon, but we'll leave that guy with the U, for a different time in a different place. I'm sure
Oh, thank you for giving me another day, Tom. I really appreciate it.
We appreciate that. Maybe anything else that you fellas would like to say before we, move on and sign off with you, because I could see this is going to get really personal, and I think maybe we'll let you make.
I'm fine.
You're fine.
I'm half awake. After this is done, I'm gonna make my steaks because I love to cook.
You should get it with that.
I have a lot of paperwork to fill out.
Do you like your steak medium rare, well done? How do you like your steak?
Closer to well done. Closer to well done.
Maybe like how Dom is gonna get well donely cooked from you coming up.
Oh yeah, he's already chopped and fried, but that's a whole different conversation.
Or maybe the way ATK is going to severely, I guess, cook your cousin Tack, and it'll be well done. It'll be well done, served on a silver platter in 28 days.
Oh yeah, no fire in this match. I don't want to see a freaking burning freaking tube. I don't want a Wicked J flaming fist. Oh, that would be a badass tribute. Yeah, no fire, but you guys can do practically everything else. You can pour salt in his eyes.
So I gotta return all the lighter fluid that I bought. God damn it!
No, you can still use it. No, it's winter season.
No.
Maybe heat a room, heat the outside. No, I would say keep it still because
because setting things ablaze is my gimmick, buddy.
I got that, but he may still need that lighter fluid.
True, touche. But all seriousness, the rest of the Revelations match card, well, it's fresh on my mind. We are going to get brother versus brother. Well, two brother versus brother matches. El Spectro versus Ramondo Velasquez. Phantasma Balder will defend the Breakout Championship against Kid Phoenix. Monstruck will go one-on-one with Madness. I'm pretty sure I covered the four-way. And I'm pretty sure I covered the rest of the card, but that's about it. If you want more updates on that, check out our website, www.ybwwrestling,
which I will put up in a minute.
Web.com. Yep. I forget what I made.
I'm going to put that up in a minute before we set up, but I did want to also point out, if you want to buy a shirt for YBW, it's discounted now until the end of the evening, Pacific Standard Time. So if you'd like to buy a shirt, it's 40% off. So you can get a shirt now. Or a jacket, you can get them 40% off. So all merchandise is 40% off. So please go out there and support YBW. This is the way we support our wrestling companies. This is the way we support everybody. So make sure you buy that shirt. I'm going to put that link up here shortly. So if you want to go find out more details on the YBW website, you can actually do that right here because I have it right in front of me. And we appreciate that. I have it here right on the screen. So you can go right here. And you can go to ybwwrestlingweb.com. That is ybwwrestlingweb.com. And thank you, Trevor, for giving us some light. And yes, Aaron is awesome. ATK is awesome, despite some of the things he may have said with Epstein file comparisons and sending people back to foreign countries. But we'll leave that at that. Hopefully they have a visa. Hopefully they do have a visa here. Hopefully.
Yeah.
trying a career at stand-up comedy. Camo Cam, we'll talk about it one of these days for sure on Sportswire. And yes, please, yeah. Well, hopefully they have us. Visas are hard to come by. I mean, listen, hopefully they have a real ID while they're at it. But those things are hard to come by. I'm supposed to go to Israel next year, and I don't have a real ID, so that means I'm not going to Israel. But nevertheless, please support YBW, and we'll keep the jokes to a minimum. And it is Aaron Blaze Day, and also
we're
yeah,
definitely talking about this on there.
If you're on the Sportswire Radio YouTube page, I'd like to give myself one plug before we get to closing thoughts, because there was some guy, and hopefully he'll come back here after some of the jokes all three of us made here today, because some guy named Raven was on Sportswire, and if you'd like to check out the interview, you can do that, and they'll have a couple of other names in the next week coming on. So I really like you to tune in. And he was only here for 20 minutes. He had really bad technical difficulties, but he was here, and he talked about a few things. So please check it out. We appreciate everybody. We want to thank YBW for their support and helping us get to Raven, all the wrestling companies that are here on Sportswire throughout the year and throughout the years that are here actively have helped us get there. And so it's each and every one of you that have made that happen. So we want to appreciate that. So we'll keep the jokes to a minimum at this point. Any closing thoughts, Mr. Hitmarker, other than phone calls being released and like I said, people being sent and
files,
real IDs, visas. I mean, anything else you'd like to say? I could put your Instagram up as a trade-off for something better. I have been told I could be a stand-up comedian. My buddy Steven Saperstein was one. He keeps telling me that I'm really not good at Sportswire. I should try to go into stand-up comedy. Maybe he's right.
A liar.
He's a liar. He was my former employer. He paid me a lot of money in life. That's okay. But let's forget about that. And Mr. Hitmarker, you can maybe say something funny or not.
Well,
keep it PG, brother.
Maybe funny, maybe a little graphic, but
oh, Jesus Christ.
With it being Texas Deathmatch in 28 days,
yes,
there is no restrictions for what I can and can't do.
That's true.
And personally, Blaze, what I'm capable of in these kind of matches. We've went to war in many of them. Whether it was non-sanctioned, 3 stages of hell, or I'm battling the goddamn Lucifer, what I'm willing to do. What I'm willing to do. And the real question is Tack willing to go that far? Because if he's not, unlike a MC, I will pull the trigger.
Ooh, I caught that reference. This man has no conscience. He'll do what he can to get the job done, and that's why you want to follow him on Instagram. Also, KTW, please support KTW. He may be upset about Dom and KTW, but please support KTW, and I will put KTW's YouTube page up here before we give Aaron the floor here. So please support KTW and hit the sub button for them. Yes, go ahead.
Speaking of KTW, this Tuesday, Dominic will be in action once again, defending that KTW Retro World title in a rematch against Chain Savage.
Well, maybe that's why Dom is not here on Sportswire tonight, because he is getting ready for his title match on Tuesday. A rather auspicious, quiet Razor Instinct Mr. Dom 2 belts, and maybe that's why he's quiet tonight, and that's why you'll have to watch him Tuesday on KTW and hit the sub button for KTW, and they're inching up the sub counts, and they're over 200, so we're moving in a better direction. So hit the sub button for KTW. You can see Dom in action, because he wasn't here tonight on Sportswire in the chat or in an appearance. So that's why you need to hit the sub button for KTW, and I'm a collaborator on some of the posts, so you can check it out through my Instagram page as well. So thank you for that, Mr. Hitmarker, and we'll definitely let that comment slide in some. So, Mr. Headline, I'm going to give you the floor. And obviously, congratulations on winning that match despite what it took. And obviously, we'll leave what we just heard over the last 20 or so minutes from the hit marker aside and pass the baton to you for some closing thoughts and anything else. Take it away.
Baton caught. Okay, my turn to speak. Where do I begin? I don't have the exact amount of days from June 27th of 2021 to December 28th of 2025. But I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's probably
1700 around 1650. Something like that.
probably 16. Well, let's go 1500. Let's go 1500.
Well, think about it. 365 times 4. There's one day in between. That comes out to 1461. 6 months is a half, so we're looking at 4 carry the 1. Yeah, about 60, almost 1650. Almost 1650 days.
I'm normally quick with doing that kind of math. Okay.
I want a mental math bee in school, so I knew it was right around 16, maybe 1650 almost. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. What can we say?
Yeah, it's been more than a minute, and that's part of the problem with the state that YBW is in. We are in the supposed revival era. Now, a couple things have revived. A couple of old feuds, new faces getting spotlight that they deserve. But what will be the final headline of the revival era is 3 words: 8-time Trailblazer. Because I'm going to finish what kind of both me and Dom started last year. If you thought what happened at Revelations 5 was nuts, I don't care about a death match. I don't care about 4 other matches on the card. This is the main event. This is the main attraction, if you will, because Mr. Main Event is in it. This is the first time ever in Revelations history there's been a rematch. And practically everything is the same from last year, except 2 things. One being my knee, and 2, who walks out World Heavyweight Champion. And whether I am walking out with help from medical staff or whether I am limping out of that backyard, I will be World Heavyweight Champion at the end of the day. Because no matter who wants to accept this or not, when it comes to backyard and underground wrestling, no matter what I've been put through, no matter what anyone says or thinks about me, no matter what this guy below's put me through, my cousin, Dominic, people in and outside of YBW, one thing has remained true for the past nearly 8 years I've been around. I am unkillable. So many people have tried to kill me, and I am still, part of my language, Tom, I am still fucking breathing.
Well, you know what? He's breathing, ladies and gentlemen, and he's breathing and some, and he did everything he could to put Magnum Carter away, and it took that burning bullet, but we'll see if that trigger he'll pull will lead him to a headline in 28 days from now and new YBW champion. And we're going to be here 28 days from now. And we're going to recap and talk about what happens at Revelation 6. And I'm sure we'll see ATK here. I'm sure we'll hear
we need
from
a
Dom.
full house. We'll need a full house.
I'm sure. Well, Magnum would have been here, but we know Magnum's story. And Dom, well, you know, I guess Dom, maybe he's counting his days. Maybe he's getting prepared for Tuesday, or maybe he just doesn't want to talk. Maybe that's the smart move on Dom's part. I have no idea. I'm not in the mind of Dom, but I know that for sure we'll be here 4 weeks from now.
There's not much up in that apartment, Tom. You're not missing much.
Well, you know what? He obviously was certainly appreciative of what he had on his last appearance here in terms of what we gave him, and I'm sure he'll have more to say in 28 days from now. Or if not, well, I'm sure we'll have a slew of the rest of you. And shout out to Magnum Carter.
Yeah, we'll have a party.
you know what? And we'll make sure that we honor and recognize YBW. But obviously, it is Aaron Blaze's day. We will give him the physical copy when we're off the air, and ATK will probably have his own day when he comes back on here in 28 days. But after tax days may be numbered literally, and Dom's days may be numbered literally. But if you are here on Sportswire, before we sign off, hit the sub button for KTW, hit the sub button for YBW. Go to the YBWT public store, go to their Instagram page, go to their website. Also, we're back on Sportswire tomorrow, but I'm actually not doing wrestling. I have on the head coach of the Five Town Sound men's soccer team, Mr. Jason Vicina, and then I have a publicist from a record label, Cleopatra Records. So you'll be getting no wrestling tomorrow. Sorry, guys, but I'll be back on Tuesday. So Tuesday we have a pro wrestler coming on. That's okay, but we who knows? Maybe we'll get a press person to cover YBW's ATK and Aaron Blaze. You never know. We can certainly we can talk to Mr. Thompson about that. Maybe he wants to give some press.
Oh, Jesus, they're going to need a year for our fucking lore. My God.
Especially with Dom. But all right, maybe we'll move on here, but we'll talk to you more about that tomorrow. In the meantime, please support YBW. I want to say hello to a young lady that fell asleep named Melissa. She fell asleep from my jokes earlier, but she hit a sub button for your page and mine. So thank you. But nevertheless, last comment from Trevor. You're walking out as champion. Well, we'll have to find out. We'll be here in 28 days, but thank you, everybody, here for tuning in. We were joined here by the hit marker ATK, who certainly made quite a statement here at the end of Anarchy Sanctum 5. Just ask Tack, or maybe don't ask Tack. And, of course, the man that is now the #1 contender to the YBW Championship, the headline Aaron Blaze, who was successful to kick off that show in one of the better matches of 2025 in the Backyard Circuit, defeating his former best
Add
friend.
it to the list.
The MC.
Instant classics over here.
Add
With
it to the
story.
list. Copper, we'll send it to
story.
Copper later. We'll send it to him later. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally with all music and wrestling matters. Hit the sub button for us. Go watch my interview with Raven. And until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On the #1 Global Radio, Sportswire Radio, with all music and wrestling matters. See you tomorrow, everybody. Have a great night.